Thanks for checking out this movie review video. This is for the 2024 release Humanist Vampire Seeking Consenting Suicidal Person. Yes, it's a very long title, but I'm going to tell you right now, this is a charming, charming film. I adore this, and when I'm recording this in late October, this is one of my favorite horror films of 2024. I cannot recommend this one enough, but I'm going to talk to it in a no spoiler way, so go ahead and listen to it and see if it is something you would be interested in, because just because I like something doesn't mean you are going to like something. So anyway, this one is directed by Ariane Louis-Seize, who did See You in My Dreams. Also written by Louis-Seize, as well as Christine Doyon, who did a few French TV shows, or French language TV shows. This is a French-Canadian film. Like, this was done in Quebec. It is in the French language, so just know you will have to read subtitles, but well worth it, in my opinion. Rented it through Fandango at home for $6.35 with tax. You can't beat that price, especially for a film as good as this. So, rolling into the synopsis, what is this film about? It is about a vampire who was born into a family of vampires who are all kind of quirky characters. And that's one of the big things about this film, is it has this very like light, fun, quirky feeling, even though it's about vampires and vampires feeding or attempting to feed at times. But it's about this girl who, from a young age, they became aware that there's something different about her. As a vampire, her fangs don't come out when she's in a situation where she should be hunting someone to feed on. And actually, they find out that her brain is wired such that she actually is afraid of that. It makes her feel bad. So, humanist vampire as the part of the title makes a whole lot of sense. So eventually, she's been mooching off her parents. Her parents have been doing all of the hunting, and so she just drinks from the blood bags that they have. But eventually, they decide, she's going to have to learn to be her own vampire. They kick her out of the house to live with her sister, who says, I will show her no mercy and give her no blood bags. And so it's about her trying to get to the point of being a straight up vampire, but also struggling with the fact that she feels different, that she doesn't necessarily want to go that way. And during that time, she ends up running into a boy who has these suicidal feelings, and that they interact. And that's kind of where I'm going to leave it. But it is a very good film, and it's horror, but it's not like super horror. Yes, there is some gore to it. It's not over the top, though. It's not scary at all, in my opinion. It is just very, like I said, light and fun and quirky. And there is comedy to it. I think it could easily be considered a horror comedy, but the comedy aspect is more just kind of like charming and light. It's not going to make you laugh. It's certainly not going to make you laugh out loud. Well, maybe some people, but it didn't for me. From the beginning of the film, you get that feeling of it being very quirky and light, and part of that's done through the performances, part of it's obviously the script itself. Also, the way it's shot, a lot of the interesting camera angles make things look like a little fun and goofy. The characters, how the characters are written, very quirky, very light, very interesting, in my opinion. And the score. The score as well keeps things very light and interesting. The score itself is very weird for a vampire film, and my wife actually walked in during part of the film and was like, this music is weird with this movie. And I was like, it is, but it also really fits it for what they're going for with the film. So it conflicts with what you would think it would be, but it fits for what it actually is, I would say. The explanation for the girl being the way she is seems pretty legit, the way they presented it, if you're accepting the concept that there are vampires in this world. So, they establish the world, they do it pretty well, and then the explanation they give for why she is the way she is and so weird and kind of a vampire outcast is legit. It's shot in a pretty stylish way, which matches a lot of the score. Yeah, that's the other thing. Not only does the score keep it kind of light and quirky and fun, along with the cinematography, but it's very stylish, it's very classy, it feels very French film, very kind of like highfalutin to a degree. It's like, oh, look at this French filmmaking, because that's what people think about when there's like French filmmaking. It's like the highest art is how it's kind of thought of. So it has that polish to it, which I appreciate. The lighting in this is very interesting. And I'm not just talking about the lighting used to light scenes, I'm talking about the actual lights that you see within scenes. Like what is hanging from the apartment or the house ceiling, or there's a part at a bowling alley, like the lights that you see in the bowling alley. Like there's a very interesting focus on lights in the film, not lights used to light the film. The lighting is good, but the lights used within the film are very interesting, and it creates a cool color palette and a lot of kind of like fun, interesting aesthetics to it. The primary characters have a lot of depth, and you really end up feeling for them. The main two, there are like two main characters to the film, and you really get a feel for who they are. It doesn't take a whole lot to get to that point, but as it keeps going, you just kind of get deeper and deeper and deeper with these characters, which speaks to how wonderful the writing is. The writing is so wonderful. When you have depth of character that's that good, it speaks to writing prowess, and I think this was executed very well in the script category. The humor won't make you laugh, but it is charming, like I said, and just in general, the way everything goes with the film, all the technical elements just come together to make it extremely charming. The dialogue is very well written, and it's also not overused. There are plenty of moments of just seeing expressions and feeling what is between characters in any given moment that they're showing that scene. I love that type of stuff because there are a lot of movies that tend to use dialogue to over-explain things, whereas with this film, they use so many other things. They use the acting performances. They use the negative space between characters. They use the score. They use the way a shot is framed or the camera movement to kind of signal what's being felt at that moment or what's happening between characters. And I love that. I love that. It does give it a very kind of like slow, lazy pace to the film, but it also at the same time does not drag. So it still has great pacing to it, but it also feels kind of like slow and leisurely. And I felt relaxed watching the movie, extremely relaxed, in addition to being very entertained. The ending is quite good. I really enjoyed the ending, and that's one of the things with movies like this is if I'm really digging it, like I was this film, I get to a certain point where I'm like, oh no, are they really going to disappoint me with this ending? And as long as it's like an okay ending, if I've been feeling that way up to that point, then I'm good. But with this, it was a quite good ending. I really did enjoy the ending. I thought they really stuck it. It's cool, it's interesting, it's unique. This whole film is unique. I mean, this is one of the most unique vampire concept films that I've seen, and I want more of this type of thing. This is a nice, fresh take on a vampire film, like I literally just said. So from a little bit of like a subtext standpoint, which isn't really going to ruin anything, that this is a fun and charming kind of coming-of-age vampire film. This is, I know that's kind of been done a little bit before, but from the perspective of a vampire film, it has its own unique feel while being a coming-of-age film that can easily apply to just humans, obviously, because, there aren't any actual vampires. Sorry to let you know. This film is about feeling like you're outside of society and trying to figure out if you can truly be yourself or to what degree you need to give up parts of yourself to join that society or remain parts of that society. So, some really interesting, cool themes with this film. You really feel it. It's executed so well. I really, really do enjoy this film. Like I said, it's one of the best films so far that I've seen in 2024. And out of 5 stars, half stars, and play, I'm going to give it a very good 4-star rating. Close to going 4.5, but I really don't think it's quite there. So I'm going a very good 4-star rating on this film. I highly recommend it. Check it out. I don't know if it's streaming anywhere else, but like I said, Fandango at home for $6.35 with tax. That's pretty great. But anyway, thank you for watching this. If you want to talk about the film, spoilers, we can do spoilers in the comments. Go ahead and put it down there. Also, subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. I would appreciate that. I also have memberships to my channel so you can access things early. You can there's a link in the description. Thumbs up on the video would be awesome. and hit the notification bell button if you want to know when I'm putting up new videos. But regardless, thank you so much for taking your time to watch this, and until next time, keep it brutal.